Well, we're celebrating National Brownie Day today, and according to history, brownies were created back in 1905 by Fanny Farmer. She was creating a chocolate recipe, and obviously the name brownie comes from the fact that they are dark brown.
Yeah.
There you go. So our unofficial baker here at WFXR, Kara Thompson, is going to guide us through a different way. I mean, the basic way of making a scratch brownie, but we're stepping it up a notch here on National Brownie Day. So, Kara, first of all, I have to tell you, I am impressed with already she's got out here a couple different options.
Yeah, so one thing about brownies is you can definitely add a lot of different things to them. You have your just plain old chocolate ones, but you can always add in those add-ins. I know, Kiana, I think you mentioned the other day, you like adding nuts to your brownies.
Plain brownies are good, but I like brownies with walnut in it. And I don't mind brownies with like a peppermint patty every now and then.
Yeah. Well, that one in the middle is just for you that has walnuts in it. You can add some fresh fruit to it. I did raspberries with one that we have on the side. And then one of the fun ones that I've seen being done is adding cookie pieces, especially Oreos, which either you can kind of crush those up or you can even layer it inside the brownie. So with that, there's plenty of ways to spice up your brownies, whether it's, adding the fruit. One thing I was trying to make, but I could not find any marshmallows at Kroger the other day, was actually Rocky Road brownies, which probably would have been with the walnuts and then mix in some of the marshmallows.
Good. That sounds delicious.
That's someone can try that at home for me.
All right, well, I will say Kara is not skimping. She is not doing box brownies for us this morning, because that's what we would have had. Duncan has some box brownies called a day.
Oh, yeah.
But not Kara. She's got the homemade version. So what do we do?
Alrighty, so the first thing you want to do is mix in some of your dry ingredients.
Okay.
What we have over here is 3/4 a cup of flour. We also have 1/3 a cup of cocoa powder, and then if you would like to, you can put some salt into that. I believe that is 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Do I need to do that?
Yeah, so go ahead, you can dump the cocoa powder into the flour and do the same with the salt.
All right, so put everything here in this pink bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then all you want to do is just make sure everything's combined together. And then once you do that, that's a pretty easy step. The next thing that you want to do, if you have either a stand mixer or you have a regular hand mixer, is you want to mix together about 1.25 cups of granulated sugar. And then you're also going to put in 2 eggs, and that's the whole egg, but you also want to add 1 egg yolk. That kind of helps with the chewiness of the brownie. So you'll put the sugar and the eggs together in another bowl.
Okay.
And you're going to want to mix that for about a minute. What's going to happen is it's going to turn this yellow color, but also it's going to double in size. So we'll leave that mixing for a little bit, get that going. And then while you're kind of allowing that to mix, kind of go into another step now. What you can do is you're going to make the chocolatey, what makes it chocolate. So what you want to do is you want to get the unsweetened chocolate bars that you can find sometimes in the baking section. You're going to take about 2 ounces of that. Usually these bars come in 4 ounces, so just cut a bar in half. Put that in a pot with a stick of butter, 8 tablespoons of butter, and you just want to get both of those mixed together, so you want them to melt, and then you'll mix it all together. So I'm going to check over here with our egg mixture right now. It's not quite at the right consistency just yet.
Okay.
But that will help with some of the chewiness. Your flour mixture looking okay over there? Yeah, I think that's all mixed together.
Okay.
You want to make sure it doesn't have too many clumps in it. Sometimes flour can get kind of clumpy. Make sure it doesn't have any clumps. So
I'm just speeding it up.
All right, speeding up goes a little bit. We're on time limit.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not going to do anything bad if you overmix it or anything like that with this.
Okay.
So it is looking a little bit more yellower.
All right.
Let's pull that up. I'm going to take that off so we don't make a mess here in the kitchen.
I wasn't really expecting for it to be that thick and consistent.
Yeah, it's going to get a little thicker, especially with the yolks. So what you're going to do after this point is you'll have your egg mixture. You're going to pour your chocolate in.
Okay.
And if you could.
Look at that.
Yeah.
What do you need me to do?
Let's go ahead and get the vegetable oil.
Okay.
Put that right there. Let's pour a little bit, about this is 1/4 cup of vegetable oil.
All right. There you go.
Yep, that's good. All right. And then we're going to do a tablespoon of vanilla. And I will say, if you want to, you're doing the box brownies today, that's totally fine.
No judgment.
Go ahead and even with the box brownies, put about a tablespoon or a teaspoon of vanilla in that.
Okay.
So
pro tip from Kara.
Pro tip. It makes it so much better other than the add-on. So once you get that together, you're going to mix the chocolate, the vegetable oil as well as the vanilla and the egg mixture together.
Okay.
All right, and then we're gonna pour in, let's see, I think that's all combined now. So now we're gonna pour in your flour mixture.
I forgot about that. My part.
I was gonna say that's important. So one thing about the flour mixture when you're adding it to the wet mixture that we have here is that you don't want to stir it way too much. You want to get it so that you don't see any more of the flour clumps or anything like that. But if you over stir it, it's gonna make it more of like a cakey. Not so much. I know a lot of people, they like the chewy kind of fudgy like brownies.
Sure.
So you don't want to over stir it at this step.
Do you know what I love best about brownies?
What's that?
The brownie batter and licking the bowl.
Oh yeah. I was doing that yesterday when I was making those brownies right there.
I'm looking at that bowl like, hurry up and pour it. I could just.
Let's see here. I think we're almost there. Let me get the back of the spatula because we got a little bit hanging on.
All right, and then while you're working on that, what's the temperature that you bake these and for how long?
You would bake these at 350 in the oven, and depending on what type of pan you use, if you have a metal one, it should be about 26 minutes. If you have a glass pan, then it's going to be more around 35 minutes.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this because you've got some already in the oven, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and get those.
All right. Because this bowl is mine.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's going to eat all that.
Actually, this bowl is very good, and so is this little spatula thing that's scraping everything so nicely. It's not leaving a lot behind. Boo.
Oh, I'm sorry. But that is one thing I will say, when you're mixing the wet ingredients together with the dry ingredients, use a spatula. Don't necessarily use a whisk at that point.
All right, so got it all in there.
Got it all in there.
Oh, look, darn, I have some batter on my fingers. All right, well, I'm going to taste what you've already done here.
Yeah, you got the walnut ones that I know that you love so much.
Of course. And then she's got the finish there. Okay.
Go for it.
Kara. Excellent. All right, well, guys, celebrate National Brownie Day with your favorite choice of brownie. Whatever, doesn't matter.
We're going to be snacking on these.
We will. Stay with us. We got more coming up after the break.